In fact, let's bring you Kim Daniels live now. She's joining us from one of the roads that has reportedly been closed. Kim, a very good afternoon. Good to have you with us. So please give us an update now in terms of the fires, especially in regards to where you are. We understand there were several road closures as well. Are these still in effect?
Yeah, we're definitely in one of those road closures. I'm on the N2. This is a national road that connects Gqeberha to Cape Town. And the part of the N2 that's closed is the part between Jeffreys Bay and Humansdorp. My camera colleague, SABC Slenkile, is just showing you now how bad the smoke cover is. You can't see further than 20 meters in front of you. A clear indication why this road is closed. It's not safe. And if I just move out of the way as well, maybe SABC, we can just move closer. We'll be able to see the fire, the actual fire, the flames that is causing the vast volumes of smoke. The fire trucks, firefighters are on scene trying to put out this blaze. And if we look more to our right-hand side, we can see the damage that was actually caused by this particular fire in this area over the past maybe 12, 18 hours. As you can see, it is a very vast area that it attacked, that the fire attacked rather, and something very silly and small that I also realized is that the barriers, that keep the barriers up. BC, I wonder if we can just show the viewers at home. This is actually made out of wood. These are the barriers that protect the vehicles from going off the road. This is made out of wood and it's burning as well. So, I mean, the fires are attacking the grass, the bushes, everything. We've seen dead snakes. Earlier when we were in Cabo Yos, we also saw wildlife literally running for their lives. They obviously feel the heat, they sense the danger, so it is quite a volatile time for the animals and those living in the wild. We spoke to the mayor earlier today to speak about, or give an update rather on what's been happening. He said most of the fires, the dangerous stage of the fires have passed. They are trying to extinguish the fires before the wind picks up later tonight, and they do feel that, he said in his words with quiet confidence, that they'll be able to do it. Most of the fires right now in the veld area or in the bush area, away from the residential side. But we did, however, see when we were on a farm, Mula Farm, in the Cabo Yos Valley area where we were just a few hours ago, the fire on that farm devastated about 90% of that farm. They've lost a lot of the grazing area where their cows eat. They do rely on their cows for commercial use. That's how they make their money. So it was quite devastating to that family. We also spoke to some families that were evacuated. Most of them were farm workers. They were evacuated to a community hall within Jeffreys Bay. And you can see the wind is picking up now as well, just to divert quickly, which means the smoke is heading in our direction. I'm just going to move out of shot, so maybe you can just see the fires that are picking up because the wind is picking up. The smoke is coming straight towards us. And this is exactly what these farm workers were saying this morning, that they left their homes on the farm because of the immense smoke. They wanted to protect themselves, protect their children, just to make sure they are somewhere safe. Most of those who were evacuated, there were about between 40 and 45 of them, have returned back home, because it is now safe at their houses. The fire that was once there is now gone. As you can see, the firefighters have now moved away from the area and moved obviously towards a different kind of area, because as you mentioned, these fires are all over the place. They're sporadic. They start somewhere, then they stop again, then they start up in that same area again. So we've seen a lot of the community members as well doing their part, grabbing their buckies and gathering water, spraying the fires dead on the farmlands, because as the mayor did mention, most of it is in the veld, in the bush and on the farms.
Kim, I mean, we're pretty glad that you are pretty safe, because you almost got caught up in one of those flare-ups actually earlier on. Look, I mean, in terms of assistance, we know now that, of course, the gift of the givers has since been roped in for additional assistance with water bombers and other resources. What do you know about this?
Yeah, it was quite crazy. We were in an area where it was absolutely fine. Then 2 seconds later, the flames came and we had to quite literally run for our lives. But in the area that we were, Cabo Yos, we actually saw this water bombing plane. So they pick up about 2,000 liters of water that Gift of the Givers fill every time. And they come and the plane drops those 2,000 liters of waters on the fire. There is a helicopter that also came from working on fires. They carry about 400 liters of water. And these two aircrafts have been flying in rotation to various areas within the Kolga municipality to extinguish these fires, to make sure that no infrastructure really gets damaged, and that or where it is burning in the veld, in the bush, that we extinguish that before, it reaches where people live and where people work.
Talk to us about that. I mean, those residents, Kim, I know you mentioned it earlier on, who had been asked to vacate, or those that voluntarily had left their houses due to safety concerns over smoke inhalations as well as safety precautions. What is their current status? Are they able then to get back to their houses at this stage?
Oh, definitely. Majority of them have moved back home. As I said, because the fire, the wind keeps changing direction, so the fires are moving. So where they were evacuated from, the fires are away from their homes now, so they have moved back there. I was lucky enough to catch 2 families on their way out from, that safety zone at the community hall, and they were just saying that how scary it was, because they were going about their normal days, doing their farm work, and all of a sudden this heat and this cloud of smoke bombarded them, and they knew they had to leave. And the municipality as well came in and helped them. Those who couldn't evacuate themselves, they helped them evacuate to that community hall.
And then you also spoke about infrastructural damage there, Kim. Talk to us about the extent, particularly in that area, because we understand in some areas, of course, there has been a loss or power outage as well as water outages due to the fact that the infrastructure has been severely affected.
Yeah, the fires have attacked a lot of the power lines. These are affecting the electrical lines, as well as the lines that power the reservoirs where we get our water. This is affecting Gqeberha, Jeffreys Bay, as well as Humansdorp, various areas within these towns and cities. So it's been quite difficult to be without water, especially in a critical time when we do need water. But as I say, community members, Gift of the Givers, working on fire, everyone in the municipality, everyone is doing their part to ensure that they are bringing water, that they're getting enough resources. The electricity part is a bit of a problem, especially for those working in the JOC, the Joint Committee, to combat these fires, because the power lines, we experienced a lot of it this morning when we went to St. Francis, because there's no power, there's no signal. So we can't get a hold of each other, which is obviously when you're working with a joint task force, it's difficult to let people know where you are, what's going on. So that was a major challenge. Electricity has been returned to some parts of the Kolga municipality. I know St. Francis is still without water and without electricity. And Eskom did say last night that they will only come and fix these power lines once it is safe in the area, once the fires have been extinguished. So it's a bit of a difficult one to navigate, trying to combat fires without water, trying to communicate to combat these fires, without communication to do so. But I must say, from what I've been seeing on the ground, these teams are working very, very well together, doing what they can, coordinating between public and private, and people, volunteering, coming out of their homes and putting their hands up, saying, how can I help? What can I do? Do the firefighters need anything? Do those evacuated, do they need anything? So it is a very tough time in Kolga, but also very much a time where the community has pulled together to help one another.
All right, maybe a quick one in closing as well, Kim. I know that you first reported to us that you are currently stationed on the N2, which is currently closed. Which other roads remain closed within the precinct or the vicinity of course, Humansdorp?
Okay, this is the main road that's closed because, as you can see, the fires have ravished on both sides of this N2. The smoke covers the road, making it very dangerous to cross here. Even us coming this way, we had to get an escort from the traffic officers and from the traffic cars. Other roads, smaller roads within Jeffreys Bay have been closed, that being in Paradise Beach. That's just about 20 kilometers from where we are. Those have been closed, and then a few roads in St. Francis Bay. But those traveling this road, this N2, they needn't worry because a detour has been put in place. That is the R102, where you take Humansdorp, depending on whether you're coming from Cape Town or you come from Gqeberha. You take Humansdorp or Jeffreys Bay and you drive around the back way on the R102. It's about 10 minutes longer. It's not too inconvenient, but it also just ensures that everyone is safe.
All right, Kim, we're definitely going to keep monitoring developments, particularly from your side. Thank you so much for that comprehensive update. SABC News reporter Kim Daniels there in Humansdorp on the N2 with the very latest in those fire updates.